So now that you understand your prostate is like a daycare, let's talk about the real mystery. Why men refuse to check on it? Because men treat prostate checkups like daycare cameras. We don't want to look. We'll be like, if I don't see it, it's not happening. That's not confidence. That's negligence with chest hair. Men avoid the doctor the same way dudes avoid child support court. We don't miss appointments. We strategically disappear. The doctors will be like, you missed your checkup. And, we'll be like, I didn't miss it. I spiritually opted out. And the excuses, unbelievable. I don't want nobody all in my business. Your business is actively misbehaving. That's like refusing to check the daycare because you don't want to invade a kid's privacy. Kids don't have privacy. They don't pay bills. One of them just bit another kid. Another excuse men love. I don't want no bad news. That's not bravery. That's like saying, I don't want to know which kid swallowed the Lego. You going to know just later when it's too late in the ER. Okay? And here's my favorite dumb logic. If something was wrong, I'd feel it. No, you wouldn't. See, that's the trick. That's the daycare going quiet. That's Pee-wee sitting too still. That's Woody not yelling. That's back talk, not complaining. And you think, oh, good, peace. No, that's when somebody is unsupervised with a pair of scissors. Men confuse silence with safety because silence feels like control. But silence is just the setup music right before the chaos drops. And then when symptoms finally show up, we act shocked. How did that happen? You ignored 6 parent-teacher conferences. You ghosted roll call. You saw blood and say, probably ain't that big a deal. Blood is always a big deal. It's supposed to be on the inside, okay? Blood is the fire alarm, but it's way too late. And let me tell you the wildest part. The check itself takes less time than deciding what to watch on Netflix. The PSA blood test is literally poke, done. But men act like this is a part of the movie Saw. We got to take off a wrist or some shit like that. And then you'll be like, well, I heard stories. Yeah, from dudes who also don't floss and microwave fish at work, okay? And don't get me wrong, fear is real. I get that. But pretending you're fearless is how kids end up running the daycare. You don't avoid supervision because you're strong. You avoid it because you're scared. And that's okay. But just don't let fear run the buildings. In other words, don't let the inmates run the asylum. Avoiding the doctor does not make you tough. It just makes you uninformed. And uninformed kids burn the daycare down.